Yo guys, what's up? It is Ripe again, back with episode 37 of our Reddit series. And today I got some more entitled people for you. Just want to say a quick thank you for your amazing continuous support, and as you know, I read every single comment. So keep it up, and now all you gotta do is sit back, relax and enjoy some entitled people. What is the best, read worst, example of entitled behavior you have ever witnessed? This happened years ago at a chocolate shop where I was working. I wasn't there when the actual incident occurred, but I was there when the phone rang the next morning with an angry customer on the phone. The cast is me for me, AC for angry customer, TG for teen girl. She was a co-worker and she had been there the night before when the whole thing went down. Also FB for fat boy, the assistant manager. Me, thank you for calling chocolate shop in location. How may I help you today? AC,
I want to talk to the manager right now, and I mean now.
I'm sorry, but there are no managers available right now. Maybe I can help you, ma'am?
Well, you can try. My husband and my son were in there last night, and my husband said that our son peed all over your floor because your salesperson wouldn't let him use the bathroom.
That is because our store does not have a public bathroom, ma'am. The nearest public restroom is down the corridor, some other store. It's really a short walk away, less than 5 minutes.
Well, I've been in your store before. If you saw me, you would know I'm a big deal, and I buy a lot of product from your store. But I won't anymore. I bet you have an employee restroom in the back, don't you? You do, don't you? You should have just let him go back there and use the bathroom. Forcing him to go to the bathroom on your floor was just unsanitary. I'm going to call the health department on you.
She continued to rant and raved this way for about 15 more minutes. And by this point, TG had come in as head FB. FB, who's on the phone? Me, mouthing back, don't worry, I got this. I inserted an I'm sorry and we will try to do better next time whenever I could, but she really wasn't letting me get a word in edgewise. After about 30 minutes of screaming at me, she hung up the phone and I grabbed TG by the arm, tell her that I need to ask her something and take her back to the storeroom, where there is indeed an employee bathroom which is not accessible to the public and is not ever used by the public ever. So, did you have a guy and his kid in here last night? Yeah, am I in trouble? No, I just need to know what happened, so if the lady who was on the phone comes in here or calls the health department like she threatened to do, we are all on the same page. Okay. TG breaks down in tears and I hug her. You're not in trouble. Whatever it is, I swear to God, you're not in trouble. So this guy came in last night with his kid, maybe 4 years old, I don't know. Anyway, they weren't really looking at anything, just kinda walking around the store, and the kid kept yanking on his dad's arm and saying he needed to use the bathroom. They were here for like, I don't know, it seemed like a long time, and the kid kept doing that dance up and down. You know, when they have to pee really bad. And the dad didn't even buy anything. He just walked around and looked at stuff, and then when the kid asks again for the 100th time to go to the bathroom, he yelled at him and they walked out really fast. I swear that's all that happened. She was sobbing hysterically at this point and scared she was going to lose her job. I stuck my head out of the door and fortunately we didn't have any customers. So I asked FB to come back there and I explained the whole thing to him. He assured that TG wasn't going to lose her job and that the woman was just an entitled Karen. We never found out who she was, but she didn't call the health department as far as we knew, and she never did call back or come into the store. Is it just me, or are people that say they are a big deal usually not a big deal at all? I'm sure the store would be very happy if Karen would never come back. I was at a Chopped restaurant in Bethesda, Maryland. It is a salad place where you choose what you want and they make it for you. They have a menu that most people order from. It was during lunch and they were busy, like line to the door. The couple in front of me were hippies, dreadlocks and Birkenstocks. They spent no time looking at the menu while they were waiting. Instead, they fawned over each other and their collective awesomeness. It is their turn and not only do they take 10 minutes to order, but they complain about extra charges for things like avocado. They hadn't been there before, so why should the menu apply to them? I think the worst part was how the woman's stupid loud face looked when she told the guy she could not have eggs, touch any part of her salad because she was vegan. It's the first time I've ever felt like a Republican. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think Maryland is not exactly the place for hippies, right? Also, I'm curious, are Birkenstock shoes actually still popular in the US? Because over here, that's definitely a trend that died out. In college, I tutored students in the Higher Education Opportunity Program. In New York, it's a program that grants free college education to lower income, minority students, and, not being racist, the HEOP website actually says you must be a minority to qualify. Anyway, these kids who were getting literally free education because they apparently could not afford to contribute to the costs, walked into tutoring with iPhones, iPads, Louis Vuitton bags, 100% real by the way, Beats headphones and much more. I could not even afford that stuff and I was someone who didn't qualify for aid. It was eye-opening. Do you guys think that's actually a case of entitlement? Or does it mean that someone has weird priorities if you spend 800 bucks on a Louis Vuitton bag, but then you have tuition assistance? Not exactly sure about that one. When I worked at Disney World, it was very common for tour groups from foreign countries, namely Brazil, as we all knew what to expect when they showed up, to get one fast pass and go to the line and pretend to not know English, so when they were told no or how to use the system properly, they could just smile and stare blankly and try to muscle past the cast member. I work in a department store and a woman brought in at least $1,500 worth of returns and said she was going to look around to find some things to exchange before we did the return. She came back 2 hours later wanting to purchase more than $2,000 worth of items. After waiting 5 minutes on me to complete the return and the new purchase, she starts yelling at me for being slow and tells me that she has a pot roast in the oven that will become dry if I don't hurry it up. I used to work in bars and on busy nights they would section off the upstairs and downstairs for fire/crowd control reasons. So there was usually a line to get in the door and then another line to go to the upstairs section. So many people would walk up to the front and expect to cut the line, saying they knew the DJ or they just came down to find someone or whatever. I was in charge of the upstairs one night and an older cougar type woman came up and tried to walk straight past, and when I pointed out the line, she said,
"Yeah, but we are really not line people."
I've known a lot of people that tried all sorts of stuff to cut in lines all the time, but that one really stuck with me. I may have missed the window of karma, but I don't care. Well, no problem, at least you have not missed the window of YouTube. I forgot to mention, if my Ripe Stars could leave a like on this video and post some stars in a comment, that would be absolutely amazing. Let's continue. I like to walk around school myself sometimes, deep in thought, but one day I was overhearing a conversation with a girl and her friend. That morning we had an assembly where the police force set up a realistic drunk driving accident and it shook up the majority of my friends and it was a hot button topic. Anyway, this girl pulls out her phone and starts talking to her mom about it. She tells her mom that the assembly
really upset me. It's not fair for us to sit in the heat.
And the real kicker,
you should sue the school.
At this point, I have the most stupefied look on my face as she hangs up and calls her dad, asking for the same thing. At that point, I was ready to slap her. I am an emotional guy and some of my personal friends were part of that demonstration. One of them even dying and having a eulogy written by their parents. So hearing this entitled girl say,
"You should sue the source of my education for letting the police put together an assembly that showed me how the real world is. Why? It hurt my feelings."
It's at that point I gave up on humanity. Ripe Stars, what was your moment where you gave up on humanity? Please tell us in the comments. This was posted by Mandy Charlover. Oh my god, why did you have to remind me of a vacation I had taken a few years back from California to Abu Dhabi? I had everything pre-booked, wonderful airline, business class seat, all perfect for the once in a lifetime adventure to this beautiful city. I had a light brunch in the lounge and was super pumped to get to fly on a huge aircraft. Boarding was the usual. Passengers needing extra assistance, family with babies and so on. When I finally boarded and was walking to my seat upstairs, a horrendous odor hits me full blast. There was a woman, mid-30s, with a toddler in my seat, about to change a very full diaper. Did I just say my seat? The very seat I have saved for over 3 years to purchase? I was just standing there, eyes watering from the stench, before she could continue with the nasty duty. I literally screamed, "What the hell are you doing? People sit there and eat there." And she had the nerve to say,
"Well, there was no one here when I walked by. We decided,"
insert sickening cutie pie name here,
"needed to be more comfortable right here."
I smashed the FA call button so fast. I was beyond disgusted, and the nerve of this beach. When the FA came to answer the call button, I also noticed this woman had already slammed down my welcome drink of champagne. This beach had snuck up to the business class section to drink others' welcome drinks and raid their snack baskets and change her kid's diaper. Needless to say, she was not taken to her economy seat, she was arrested at the gate for theft and other violations against the airline. She's so freaking lucky she didn't pull that carb in the UAE. Okay, Mandy, thank you. That was pretty much the best Entitled Parents story I have ever read, and also the hardest because I could not control myself from laughing. This was posted by Stacy Rose Isme in our own subreddit r/ripestories. And this one belongs in the church drama category. Family disowned me for being Wiccan, or Wiccan, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. I grew up in an all-Christian family, and my family has always put the fear of God in our heads since day one. I hated church because of how hypocritical people were there. They preach all this stuff about God being loving, blah 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 blah, but then they judge others. While growing up, I was forced to go to church, but when I became an adult, I decided enough was enough. Because of the way my family was, I was turned off from Christianity and decided to find something that speaks more to me. I found Wicca, and I've never been happier than I am now. I hid the fact that I was Wiccan to my family because I knew how judgmental they would be towards me, but then one day I decided to stop hiding who I am and just tell everyone. Like I thought, many of my family members started to preach to me about how I was sinning and how I was going to hell and all that stupid crap. I ignored them and told them that if they truly loved me, they would accept me as I am. Well, that did not go over well. I decided to post the Wiccan Rede and show to people that Wicca is not an evil religion like so many seem to think. My uncle did not take it well and demanded that I remove my post off my own Facebook wall, and I told him, "Nope, my wall and I have the rights to post what I want. If you don't like it, then don't read it." He proceeded to try to convince me that I was in the wrong and how evil I was. I just ignored him. A lot of my family members stopped trying to convince me to revert back to Christianity, but many of them make it their mission to preach to me whenever they can. It has gotten so bad that I had to block family members. I have an aunt on the opposite side of the family who is very loving and very open, and in fact, she is bi. She told me that we cannot choose our family, but just because we are blood, that does not mean we are family. She told me to surround myself with those who will love and accept me for who I am. Since I have come out about being Wiccan, I have found that most people are understanding, and they will even ask me about it. Wicca is a peaceful religion, and so many seem to believe that we sacrifice animals to some kind of demon that we don't even believe in. There are so many that don't know the truth about it, and if someone asks me, I will gladly tell them, but I will not try to force them to convert to Wicca. I believe everyone has a right to their own beliefs, and we each should follow our own path. The overly religious family on my father's side have all disowned me, including my own father. The family on my mother's side are more open and understanding and love me for who I am. My mother passed away back in 2014, and I believe she would be proud of me today for standing up for myself instead of falling into that old guilt trip my father's side of the family like to put on me and my siblings. Once in a while, I will try to reach out to my father's side of the family, but the moment they start preaching to me, I end the conversation. I will not let anyone make me feel bad about my life choices, even if they are family. If anyone is wondering about Wicca, you can easily search it and the Wiccan Rede online. Well, yeah, I think that's really important when it comes to religion, that you actually don't try to convert others, but let everyone decide if they need religion in their life, and if they do, please don't try to force your own beliefs onto them. But anyway, Ripe Stars, Thank you so much for watching once again. I have a feeling that we are gonna reach 3000 subscribers next week, and I cannot thank all of you enough for this. Thanks for giving me this opportunity and for being part of the community. Please keep up the support and come back tomorrow when I upload a new video. I hope you have a great day. See you tomorrow.